Hey guys, Cassie Deputy with Deputy Tribe. I look bald because my hair is slicked back. Oh, it scared me. Hey kitty, kitty, kitty. Hi. There's my kitty. Can you see him? Hey kitty, kitty. Anyways, I have the house to myself tonight, which is really nice. So I'm finished watering my garden and now I was outside just stretching, getting some sun. So I wanted to come on here and give an update on how things have been going since my brain injury. So they've been doing really well. I had a new specialist come on board in January, and she's one of the top functional medicine doctors in the nation. And she met with me, we ran a bunch of tests, and we found 12 infections, including active Lyme disease, among other tick-borne infections, Borrelia, Barbosia, something like that. I also had Epstein-Barr, another 12 infections. I don't remember what they all are. But the most worrisome was the active Lyme disease. So they found 5 strands of Lyme, and the one that I had that the levels were really high and it was actually actively reproducing was a strand of Lyme disease that comes from Europe, and it's a Nero Lyme. So the theory, I also have really high mold toxicity, which could be playing a big part in my slow recovery process. So brain injury happened in September on my anniversary, and then things got pretty bad pretty quick. I was having lots of seizures, vomiting, eye pain, memory problems, walking problems, speaking problems, reading problems, everything. And yeah, long story short, they put me on a ketogenic diet, which worked wonders. And then it was always kind of like a getting better, not doing better. I'm gonna just take my hair out because I look bald. I don't know. Well, that's not any better, but whatever. There you go. Getting better, not getting better, getting better, not getting better. It's kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. It was really frustrating. So they knew there was something else going on. So we found the Lyme disease and the mold. So I went on her pre-Lyme protocol type thing. So I started that, gosh, I don't even remember when I started that. I think it was in February, March, April, May, June. No, it must have been February. Ugh, box elder bug. I think it was March, April, May, June. Yeah, I think it was March-ish that I started the protocol. So basically it was a bunch of herbal antibiotics, a bunch of other supplements, because we ran my genetics, and my genetics showed a lot of things that made a ton of sense with my body and how it works. A couple of them being my body. I have a genetic mutation where I cannot absorb B vitamins, and so folate, those types of things, I can't absorb them. So that's why when I get my blood work done, my B12 levels are triple what they're supposed to be, and I don't even supplement. So my body really cannot digest or absorb B vitamins. There was a couple other ones, choline, a couple other genetic things. But the largest genetic marker that we saw was my body translate any sort of stress as histamine, and so it releases mass histamine responses. So basically I was on a ridiculous amount of supplements as well as binders, so charcoal bentonite clay, I think it had aloe in it and stuff, and everything has been timed for the last 3 or 4 months. So at this time you take all this, an hour later you take this, 2 hours later you take this, an hour later you take this type of thing. And probably within the first 4 weeks-ish, I was starting to feel a little better, had clearer mental capacity. At the same time, I was getting high-dose vitamin C IVs. I was getting 75 grams, starting with twice a week, then down to once a week, then down to every other week, and now it's down to once a month. I was also doing hyperbaric oxygen twice a week, once a week, every other week, once a month. And, you know, it was kind of like not really feeling better, but kind of, not really feeling better, but kind of. And then all of a sudden, I got an IV treatment and stuff. And then it was like I woke up the next day, and all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh, I feel good. Like, I don't just feel better, I feel good. Literally, it was like a switch just flipped, and I felt really good. And it's been literally uphill since then. I have mental clarity, I have physical ability, I've lost a ton of weight. I have lost quite a bit of muscle mass just because since the injury, I haven't been doing much. I just physically and mentally, you know, with losing feeling on my left side and not having strength in my legs. And I resorted to walking with a cane a lot of the time before I started the Lyme protocol treatment. And yeah, it was rough. So for the first time, I'm physically like exercising, stretching, gardening, you know, running around with my kids again, like sleeping really well. So the treatment hit its height in May. I believe it was in May. And I started tapering down now. And I actually just took my last herbal antibiotics 4 days ago, something like that. So it was a huge accomplishment for me. I remember holding that last handful of pills that had all the antibiotics in them, and I was like, wow, I did it. Like, I can't believe I did this. So my supplement load's way down. Now I'm on like a multivitamin, a fish oil, and like a methylated B vitamin with some other stuff in it. And then I'm still taking the binders randomly when I feel like we've had a lot of pollution here, you guys. I don't know if you guys have, but the air quality has been literally worse than LA and like China, like bad air quality. So I've noticed my lymph nodes getting swollen, my tattoos itch really bad when my immune system's working overtime. So I've been taking those binders quite a bit still, and they really help. Like, I'll take them at night, and in the morning I'll feel so much better. So I have another IV treatment July 12th. I met with a Lyme mold specialist last week. She's really expensive. But we basically sat and talked for an hour and a half, went over everything, talked about where I want to go from here. I kind of had three options, and without, you know, going too much into the details, one of the options was to be on 2 antibiotics for the next month, because active Lyme is kind of scary and kind of hard to deal with. But the best way to treat active Lyme is actually more symptom-based. And since my symptoms are doing so much better, I'd rather not go on 2 antibiotics and completely destroy my gut that we've been building up since October. And then another option I had was to start treating the mold, which needs to be dealt with. But the issue with that is, first they'd want an environmental mold test done. Oh, wow. I think that's a woodpecker sitting next to me. It definitely looks like a woodpecker. It's beautiful. Anyways, they'd want the house tested first. And then if the house doesn't pass, then we would have to eradicate the mold out of the house first before I started getting on prescription mold binders, because there's no reason to treat mold with a prescription if you're going to be exposed to it on a daily basis anyways. So in the meantime, we can't afford that right now, or probably really ever in the near future. So we're going to try to get air purifiers and stuff for the house minimum. And then my husband's hoping in a few years to kind of do some remodeling. So the areas that we do think have mold, we're hoping to kind of address at that time. So those are kind of the 2 of the 3 options. The other option is to just kind of maintain where I'm at. I'm sticking with a ketogenic carnivore-based diet. It's funny, I actually, over the last 2 months, slowly evolved into a carnivore diet, which I never imagined I would. But I just noticed not eating the vegetables at all, I feel better. I feel way more energy, more mental clarity. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, even just eating the vegetables or things like that, just meat and dairy and eggs, and I'm doing phenomenal. Like, phenomenal. Like, I've never felt this good ever. I don't think I've ever been at this weight. I like my, yeah, I sometimes get acne on my back. I have nothing. I'm sleeping great. I mean, I can't even really go through how good I really feel. Like, it's not that I feel like unstoppable. Like, I get muscle cramps, so I know my magnesium needs to stay up. I got my immune system still fighting something. I'm wondering if it's the pollution and stuff in the air, but yeah, overall doing pretty good. I still have some neuropathy in my feet. I can't feel the inside of either of my feet. So my doctor says that's definitely a neurological thing. My friend who's in school to be a chiropractor thinks that it's a adjustment issue. So I don't know, it could be either one. I know when I went into therapy last, he did do some electrical work, and I actually did regain some feeling. So that was a good praise, but they're pretty numb. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at, and things are going good at the farm. We're getting some new goats. We're getting a milking goat and a little baby buck that we're gonna hopefully raise to impregnate our 2 alpine does. And then I'm praying that we can maybe get a 3rd milking goat on the scene. So they are Nigerian dwarf mixed with fainting goat, the 2 that we're getting. And then the other one I want to get is purebred Nigerian. I guess they're registered and all that, whatever that stuff is. I don't care. I just want their milk. Yeah, so that's kind of the update. We're homeschooling, we're homesteading. My garden is up and flourishing, and have to give you guys a tour of that pretty soon. Chickens are doing well. My dog's doing well. Rabbits, we have no idea how many rabbits we have. Actually, haven't seen any in a while. I don't know where they are. They might be out there hopping around. Cats, yep, cats. So yeah, so that's how it's going. So thank you guys for your prayers. Thanks for your support. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask the questions below, and I will do my best to answer them. Hey, kitty, kitty, kitty. My cats are outdoor cats here in the summer. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? Oh, you want some nubbin? And my dog really wants to get off his lead, but he is such a beast. Even with a 12-foot heavy chain around his neck, he will go jump my 6-foot fence and run into the neighbor's yard, and I'm just not doing that without my husband or kids home to go get him. So he's gonna stay chained up out there. So yeah, so that's it. That's how it's going. Thanks for your guys' prayers, and as always, remember, Jesus is coming.